Hi, I am Kedger on Two Wheels, and I've gone green. So, I've gone green. What? Where? Who? Okay, it's simple. I have gone, and if you're following, well, probably, yes, if you're following the Facebook page already know, I have gone to Ramimoto's open day to test ride 4 Kawasaki's, and with 2 more online, because those 2 are from Ramimoto, so I'll be able to test drive next week, maybe the one after that, depends on weather. Now, which beautiful machines were they? Well, I'll put the list up. It's the Z300, the 300cc naked competitor to the MT-03, the Versys 650, the Versys 1000, and the ZZR 1400. Wow, that was a very tiresome day. First of all, I'd like to thank Ramimoto for not only allowing me that, but also allowing me to skip the whole procession group ride thingy. Hang on, let me just turn off the communicator. It was speaking in my ears. Not only allowing me to skip the whole group rides, follow-in line test drives they were doing, but giving me a bit more leeway to do my own test ride. That was awesome. To all subscribers that went there, even though I only said I was going there like the day before, that was nice. Having a few chats with subscribers, meeting new subscribers, etc. I gave out a lot of stickers, by the way. Since they're not actually selling, I'm just starting to give them out. Had some fun. Was extremely tiresome. I knew that 1 test ride is tiresome, 2 is very tiresome. I have done that before, and I got home pretty tired. 4, I just got home completely wrecked. I mean, seriously, completely wrecked. I could not for the life of me get off my chair. It was just ridiculous. And the next day I was still pretty tired. I was like hungover. So I was actually hungover probably because I was dehydrated. That's one mistake I'm not going to do it again. Whenever I ride for a long time, I'm going to bring in water to keep hydrated, so I don't get the equivalent to a hangover the next day. Okay, so onwards. About the bikes, you're probably waiting for that. You'll have to wait for the test rides. No, I'm just kidding. I'll give you the gist of it. So I'm going to start with the Versys 1000, which was the first one I tried. I loved it. It is an absolutely fabulous bike. It is awesome on asphalt, but on dirt it's more like the cross tourer. It's a great asphalt machine that can do some simple dirt tracks, a unpaved road here and there, some very weak trails, etc. You can go a bit more aggressive, but it'll end poorly. Then you have the Versys 650, which is not the same, only smaller. It is a different machine. It is more of a half and half. It's more like the V-Strom. It will do off-road and it will do roads. It does have fully adjustable front suspension, which is a big plus, and very easily adjustable rear suspension with that turny knobby thingy under the seat, which is a very big advantage. However, on the unit I was testing, the bike I was testing, probably had something to do about the suspension settings, but the front was very, very light. That made me uneasy. I'm more used to a more planted front, a more stable front, and that was just very light. This was enough to make it wobble quite a lot, so it was probably about suspension, maybe harder on the rear to put more weight on the front, and it would be much better. I don't know. It was just a feel I had and I kept having, and it disappeared when I leaned over the front bars like this and put some weight on the front, and suddenly it was miles better. So it was very likely due to suspension settings, which is the disadvantage of having adjustable suspension, is then you can adjust it poorly, which I am pretty sure was what happened there. And then we have the Z300s. Well, the Z300 is, and then it started raining, so I couldn't quite give it a good whack, but it felt pretty much like the MT-03 cornering. Engine wise, it is also relatively on par. Okay, they're pretty similar. I couldn't really test aggressive cornering because it started to rain. but it felt relatively similar. However, at high speeds, and it wasn't just me that said that, could be tire pressure or something, I don't know, but it was pretty weird because when I reached 140 kph, the bike was stable. But let's say I was at 140 and I was full throttle, and then and this happened, the car jumped in front of me, and I went from full throttle to no throttle. The car went back into his lane, and I went back into full throttle. And at that moment, the bike went like this. And that was pretty scary, okay? At full speed, at near maximum speed, and maximum speed should be around 160 or so. The front goes a bit weird. that was pretty odd. And other bikers that were there also said the same thing. One of them actually commented, well, I tried, she wobbled, and I was like, okay, no more fun, I'm not going to play anymore, let it be. So I hope that was just something about pressures or something, but other than that, at normal legal speeds, it's a great little bike. Another pretty good beginner bike with an awesome look. That thing looks nasty, it looks really evil, looks like a slightly thinned down Z800. The looks on that, pretty damn good. And then we have the one you've been waiting for, the ZZR 1400. Well, I'm going to explain it this way. I only did the English test ride because I did not feel like doing the Portuguese one. I hated it. Don't get me wrong, it is an awesome bike, okay? That is a fabulous bike. That is like insanely good. However, it is also insanely powerful. It's too much. It's just too much. I literally cannot handle that, okay? It's just mind-bogglingly fast. It's dangerous, actually. It's really dangerous. I was thinking, okay, now I have to do the Portuguese video, but to do the Portuguese video, that means I have to go full throttle again. And I'll have to go really fast again. And I really don't want to do that, because full throttle on that bike is really insane. High speeds on that, for that bike to call it high speed, you'll be nudging 300 kph. Okay, it's just it's completely ridiculous. That's 210 horsepower. If I want to have a heart attack or die in tiny little pieces, that's a great bike. But no, that's not for me. Some people will love it, some people will call me a pussy for that, but I like my internal organs right where they are, inside me, not spread across 5 miles of pavement, okay? So no, only the English one, and I've did some pretty stupid things on the English one, mainly on accident, because I really was not expecting that. And other than the insane power, it has completely ridiculous brakes too, just stops ridiculously fast. And is as agile as, let's say, how am I going to put this? Oh yeah, an elephant on a skateboard, it's as agile as that. It's hard to do a freaking roundabout on that. It's not that it doesn't do, it does do. But to actually do a roundabout, it's not playable as this bike, okay? On this bike, a turn like this, I don't need to counter steer. A guy that doesn't know how to counter steer can correct his trajectory just by going like this here, okay? Like, you see some people who don't know how to ride yet, they kind of lean and let the bike do... They do it by instinct, and it kind of works. On that bike, that's not gonna work. You try cornering by instinct on that bike and you're just going to plow straight ahead into something. You really need to pilot it. And that was a real eye-opener. At the first turn, I was like, okay, I did my usual thing. Okay, let's just turn. And it wouldn't go. I had to go, hang on, wait. I have to actually push. I had to consciously go, no, I really need to do this. So I need to really counter steer it onto the turn. And it's not just like this one, where you counter steer down and forward like this. Okay, yeah? Like I usually do. Like normal people do. No, on that one, to do slight turns like this, yeah, that down and forward works. For a roundabout, or for anything tighter than these winding roads, you need to actually turn the wheel. Okay, you need to actually do this. Turn like this to go left. Or it just won't go. It's really stable. It really wants to go straight at all times. You really have to coax it into the turn. That's some fun, okay? There's some fun in that, in having to pilot that huge machine, and it feels huge. And even then, counter steering into a roundabout, you're doing a lot of... You usually don't do a lot of force on the handlebars, right? Just like A slight nudge is enough, like this. You just slightly tell it where you want to go and it'll go. No, on that one you really have to, you feel like I'm doing strength, I'm doing force here, I'm pushing it, and even then it's not quite turning, so suddenly you're going into roundabouts like this, but you're leaning off in roundabouts, because as soon as you lean off, suddenly all of this goes out the window and the bike just starts to turn naturally, the way this one does. You just have to lean off the bike, even just going like this, just staying with your butt planted and just going shoulders out, it'll do a huge difference on that bike. And so that will be an awesome circuit bike. Okay, might be a good touring bike if you don't do a lot of city. In city it'll be as at ease in the city as a PCX is on the highway. Seriously, it's it's an awesome bike, but not for me and not for in-town commuting for sure. And so I didn't do the Portuguese video because I really did not felt up to it. I didn't feel rested enough to do it. I didn't feel brave enough to do it. So I just did the English one, and okay, no, just never mind that. It's great, but fuck that, seriously. You'll see on the video, it's just wow. Okay, in a few years, maybe. Now, no. And in a few years, on the circuit. Not on the road, no, not on the road. That's not a bike to go on the road on. That's just too much. So yeah, I've gone green, I've tested a lot of Kawasaki's. I liked it, all in all. They're not sold that much in Portugal for some reason. I really like the Versys, both. Even with the lightness of the 650, I really liked it. It's much prettier than the V-Strom, and it is a very similar kind of product, even though it is more roads than off-roads. The V-Strom is much more off-road-ish. The Versys is more on-roady, so it's more kind of like my style, and I really like those both. Funky looks, great looks. Kawasaki's look just absolutely awesome. So yeah, it was a very positive one. Incoming will be the J125, which is Kawasaki's scooter, and the Vulcan S. The Vulcan is a chopper, a 650 chopper. A cruiser. Chopper, cruiser, I don't know. You go look it up. It's that thing. And I wasn't very keen on it, but everyone who rode it was going like, wow, this is really good. This is really, really good. And so I'm pretty curious. All the feedback from all the riders that did that day, all of them said, well, this is a really good bike. Even one guy had a sports bike and said, I hate this. Came back and said, no, this is actually pretty good. I really like that. And he had a sports bike. So let's see. Also, I would like to thank, I forgot on the thanks to do that, I'd like to thank my subscribers, all of them, all of you, especially the Portuguese ones. Even though I'm speaking in English, I'll do it in Portuguese too, for one tiny little thing, which is the support you guys have been giving me on everything. Not just YouTube, not just views, but you have no idea how important it is to me to have subscribers going to the dealerships and saying, I am here because I saw a video from a guy who tested the bike from this dealership. Okay, that's just awesome. The dealers go, wow, that really works. And so they want to give me bikes for me to test because it brings people to their establishment. Even on other dealerships, even that it's just awesome. I got to one dealership where I only did 2 test drives, which is Lopes up there, one Honda, and that's only because the other Honda is right much closer to me, and I know the guys better. I bought my PCX, and the guy at Lopes, he knew me already. He said, no, you go do your test ride. I'm a bit limited on time, but try to keep it at most 1 hour, and that should be enough. He knew me. Why? Because subscribers, or even not subscribers, just viewers, are going there and saying, I came here because I saw a test ride from a slightly idiotic, slightly crazy guy who rode a Honda, and I wanted to test the same Honda he rode because he said it was good. That's seriously, that's awesome. Okay, going into a dealership and getting recognized just from my voice is just, it's a bit awkward for me, but it's awesome. I can't believe this actually happened. So huge thanks to all you guys, seriously, thank you. I can only ride all of these because of you guys. It's just, I don't know what to say, seriously. On that note, and this concerns me quite a lot, many people out there seem to think I'm some kind of second coming of Christ of motorcycling. Are you crazy? I know very little. What I say is my opinion from a normal rider. Okay, I'm no longer a complete beginner, but still, I don't know much. Okay, it's just what I feel and what I see is probably what you would go on the bike and see and feel. And I might be wrong. I have been wrong before, multiple times. I've ridden the bike and I didn't even know if it had ABS or not. I had to stop and look. Okay, so there's that. Okay, let's just relax a bit. Don't go, oh, Kajer says this bike is awesome, so it must be awesome. No, I liked it and I thought it was awesome. It might be a piece of crap. What the hell do I know? Then again, for all these details, you have the proper journalists who actually have a lot of experience, tens of years of experience. I do my own thing. It's a bit different, but yeah, it concerns me. It concerns me because someone's going to buy a bike and hate it, and it's gonna be my fault. Oh wait, that has already happened. And I'm very sorry. A Brazilian guy bought a CB500X for himself. Because of me, he was going back and forth with me with what bike should I buy. I steered him towards from what he wanted, either the CB500 or the NC. He saw a CB500 that was cheap. He asked me if it was good. I said yes, I liked it. It's a pretty good bike. He took it home and he reports that at 150 kph the front end goes completely wacky and he's very scared of it, doesn't like it, and he's gonna sell it as soon as he can. Do you have any idea how that makes me feel? I'm seriously ashamed. I did not test that bike at 150. I was like, what? I even told him, look, maybe it's the windscreen, maybe it's the top case. No, he tested it on another bike. And I was like, okay, man, sorry, I didn't know. I find it very odd, but I didn't know. I had no idea. Maybe it's that bike, but he tested on another bike. It's the same thing. Maybe he's too sensitive. Maybe it's... I don't know. I have no idea, and so I'm... You see the problem? That's the problem. And this might happen. So even if I say it's good, go try it out, take a look at it, see what other people other than me say about it. There's more guys doing test rides nowadays. You have many people doing test rides, kind of like I do. Many motor vloggers doing the same. Go check them out. They will probably see things I didn't see, and vice versa, and we'll get a more complete picture of it. Because these episodes, I feel really bad, okay? The guy bought a bike and he's not happy with it. And I told him, on Facebook, I told him specifically on that bike. Is it good? Yeah, that's a good one. Go for it. Yeah, that did not go well, huh? So yeah, so that's it. Bit longer. Thank you to you guys. A word of warning, because I'm not the expert many people seem to think I am. And a lot of Kawasaki. That's two choppers following each other. You can't see it, it's too far away, but there's two helicopters there, one right behind the other. Civilian ones though. Civilian? Yeah, civilians. Weird. Where the hell are they going? Maybe a tour of some sort. Oh, okay. And so, yeah, I guess that's it. Good routes.